Hi YouTube, BB here. Just want to share a little rant, a personal experience. Me being on the autism spectrum. I talked about this in a recent blog of how I was in my early 20s. I participated weekly, maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, in a special needs adult youth activity group, if that makes sense. It was Young Life Capernaum. Young Life is like a Christian evangelical youth, teen, and young adult organization that has its activities and its programs held and based at churches, usually Presbyterian, Methodist type of churches, sometimes at mega churches. Um, and so it was basically special education type of adults who wanted, a special needs group for activities, kind of summer camp activities, Sunday school activities, but for developmentally delayed adults. And I went. Sometimes I was okay with it. I was okay with the activities. Sometimes I wasn't. I found some of the leaders to be very preachy, condescending, contradicting. They were just college kids. They were my age. I could have been one of them. I sometimes helped with them, and sometimes I wasn't one of them, but I was kind of straddling that line between, hey, I am fully independent. I can sign for myself. I can legally do things for myself. I can make my own doctor appointments. I can take the bus fucking anywhere I want. And I know how to do things independently for myself at home. I don't need someone over my shoulder all the time. But sometimes I still liked the interaction and the games, and I was able to tolerate the social interaction with people who didn't have as much independence as me. It was kind of a weird time in my life where I didn't have a big friend group and I didn't really have a lot of friends. And so I was just looking for a place to have friends. And so what's my topic on this? I don't know. The people the other people who were there, I tried making friends. Sometimes those friendships kind of worked out, but mostly just during the group meetings, the group activities, that's when I would see them. And some of them had cell phones, and some of them didn't. And even the ones who did, they had a lot of, I don't know, social, emotional holdbacks with making friends to spend time with outside of the Young Life activity group. So they didn't really see the importance or the benefit of one on one hanging out, companionship. I said, let's just go walk around UW for an afternoon and then go get food at, go get lunch at Mod Pizza or at Chipotle. And I did that a few times with a few of them, including this one chick who I think was maybe 4 or 5 years older than me. And she was on the autism spectrum, maybe with an intellectual disability. She was openly gay. She had some very unique autism related mannerisms. Some people might use the word quirk. I was going to use that, but then I decided mannerism is a better descriptor because I'm on the autism spectrum and my mannerisms are my mannerisms. They're not quirks, because saying quirk is like saying, oh, your mannerisms are so cute. No. It's just what I do. It's who I am. It's how I act. It's how I talk. It's how I socialize. It's how I interact. It's how I emotionally react to things. If it was cute, it would be intentional and on purpose. My mannerisms are not on purpose. That I would like to definitely clarify. Mannerisms are not on purpose. Mannerisms are not cute. Mannerisms are not quirky. My quirks are not quirks. My mannerisms are not quirks. When you have autism, The way you act, the way you hold yourself, the way you present yourself, your demeanor, your reactions to everything around you, those are mannerisms, not quirks. And so, this one girl, sometimes we did hang out a few times. We walked around the UW campus. This was in Seattle, University of Washington. We walked around the campus a few times, and I think only one time we went to Chipotle, and she had never had Chipotle before, and she didn't know how to order the food, and she didn't know what she wanted, and I had to walk her through it, and she acted like it was the hardest thing ever, and I realized she didn't really know how to improvise. She didn't know how to pick things in the moment. And when we sat down to eat, she didn't know whether to use a fork or a spoon or to eat it with her face like a dog sticking their face in a dog food bowl. She literally talked to me that way. She thought because she got a Chipotle burrito bowl, she should stick her face in it and eat it with her mouth. And that kind of shocked me because when there were snacks or dinners provided in this youth group program, she never acted like that. And it just kind of took me aback, made me do a double take, and I'm like, in my head, I reacted only to myself. Wow. Wow, where's the improvisation? She's like 4 or 5 years older than me. She has some independence to go places on her own and get from her shattering job where she has a job coach to get to the young life activity time to get to home. She kind of did everything all in like 2 different neighborhoods. And then she was openly gay, and I'm saying that because she made that very much her personality. But in a weird way that she felt sorry for herself, and she acted like the world hated her. And that because she was so church going, or because she was in Young Life and she knew that it was a Christian related thing and a church related thing, she kept on always repeating the same line every week. I'm going to hell because God hates gays. And ultimately it became a mantra to her and a mannerism. Will you get off me, sir? Get off. Get off. Kitty, get off me. Get off me. Thank you. Before I was rudely interrupted by a cat, this girl, she just had the hardest time accepting that there were other things to talk about, that there were other conversations. She had a challenging time with that. And then as for, I don't know, other people in that same setting who I interacted with briefly, like as we all walked into the building together and collided paths, even when walking outside, and some of them would be waiting for their parents to pick them up in the parking lot or in the lobby. It was just very challenging seeing how far, not how far gone, but how far in lack of independence, lack of development, lack of emotional, social skills, that so many of the mannerisms of like 5 or 6 different girls, young women, chicks on the autism spectrum and with other intellectual disabilities, they just didn't have it. They just didn't have that oomph or that pizzazz or that savvy or that know-how to interact, to communicate. Cat, really? Okay, fine, you do that. And so, I don't know what I'm complaining about. I'm just talking to the camera. It's just a vlog. You don't like it? Move on. But you probably didn't make it this far because I'm already at the 10-minute mark. Just a rant. More or less, when you have autistic children, and adolescents and young adults. Teach them to improvise. I guess this is the part 2 to my previous vlog where I talked about adults on the spectrum and with other disabilities not knowing how to improvise in the moment. You have to teach them, you have to show them, you have to model it for them while they're still young, while they're kids, while they're teenagers, before they become young adults. I'm saying anytime between the ages of 6 and 16. You need to teach your autistic and developmentally disabled young adults, kids, and teens how to prepare something for themselves, how to improvise. They want a PB&J sandwich, but they're out of jelly. Learn to improvise that it's okay just to do peanut butter. They want to, or they're out of peanut butter, just have a jelly sandwich. Or to choose a different snack, or to choose a different meal. How to pick and choose what they want at Subway, or at McDonald's, or at Chipotle, or at Taco Bell, or someplace they haven't been to in a while and they gotta learn to read a menu. Excuse you! Get your butt out of my camera, sir. Go down. 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 Thank you. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. Nope, nope, nope. Get away from that drink. That's not yours. Okay. Vlogging with cats is a challenge. Vlogging while autistic with cats, not too much of a challenge. But vlogging as a person with autism, talking about the difficulties of other people on the spectrum, that's a challenge. It's hard for me to interact with other people on the spectrum because I see myself in them, or I see them in other people that I've met before, or I see other people I've met before in the new person I'm talking to who is also on the spectrum. Ooh, that's a new topic. Okay, I'll get back to that topic later on another vlog. Okay. In the meantime, if your kid is age 6 to 16 and they're on the autism spectrum, teach them to improvise. Show them to improvise. When you realize you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, don't have a meltdown, but express to your child, I wanted a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but there's not enough peanut butter. But it's okay. I'll just use the rest of the peanut butter and use an equal amount of jelly. And then I'll have my sandwich. And that's okay. You gotta do those little things on a daily basis. Oh, you don't have enough wet wipes for cleaning up yourself in the bathroom. You don't have, you make do with what you have and you fold it over 2 or 3 times. You don't have enough money for this. Okay, you tell the cashier, or you decide to take these 3 items off of the list, or to undo the purchase of 3 items. You're cleaning things up and you did something in the wrong sequence. You make room, you pause what you were doing, and you try something new. It's all the little things in life on a daily or weekly basis you can show and model for your child. And even have them recognize what you're doing and have them parrot back or copycat you. Or you take advantage of their echolalia for them to understand it's okay to be out of peanut butter. It's okay to be out of jelly. It's okay to be out of bread. We make a half sandwich with 1 slice of bread. We fold it in half. You know, you gotta do those little things. I'm gonna do this in another vlog. But I'm still gonna upload this one. Okay. That's all I have for now. More later.